Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this solo talk with me, Benjamin Junior Bugonko. I hope you're fine wherever you are. In the next 30 minutes or so, as I mentioned earlier on my Facebook page, I said I will be going live around this time to share with you this topic here that is very interesting and, more importantly, something that can speak to most people who follow my shows, whether you're a gentleman or a lady. So I welcome you here right now, wherever you are. If you're a man, please sit down and pay some attention to what I'm going to just share with you. If you're a lady, also, this topic here may evoke some emotions to you, may bring back those sad memories. But more importantly, I just want to welcome you here to share with you my experience as Benjamin on this topic of what makes a man be abusive or violent to any relationship. So, as I'm doing this talk, I really request you, wherever you are, as you say hello to me. I see all of you there on the comment section. Thank you so much. Share the video, tag a friend. You can share the video to their DMs, to their inboxes, or you can share this video on your timeline so that many people, including your own family members and your closest friends, will come across to it. So what makes a man to be very abusive or very violent? I have highlighted at least 10 reasons growing up as Benjamin in my family, together with the neighboring families where I was brought up. I came to realize that there are a number of reasons that makes a man to turn out to become very, very violent and very abusive. And I know there are so many people who are stuck into such kind of relationships with an abusive man, an abusive husband, and they have no help. They don't know what they're going to do. I will not give you the solutions on this video, but the reason why I'm doing this video, I want you by the end of the video to understand maybe your man is being abusive because of A, B, C, D. And then from there on, the challenge will be back to you. As the person who is tolerating an abusive person, what next? What should you do? Now, domestic violence is commonly known as domestic abuse. So both abuse and violence go hand in hand. Somebody who is abusive can also become very violent. And in my talk, I will not deal about all many kinds of abusive nature of a man, but I will focus on specific ones. The physical abuse, which is very common. Somebody kicking you, beating you up, slapping you, boxing you, punishing you, inflicting physical pain to you directly. That's the physical abuse. The second form of abuse, which is also very popular, is emotional abuse. Somebody who is just tormenting you, making you to think without sleeping. You can't eat, you can't move on with life. Every single moment when you're seated, when you're walking, when you're driving, when you're drinking, when you're with your friends, when you're going to work, when you're going to sleep, the only thing that you're thinking about is this person, this man, this guy. This person has put me into this thing that I'm facing. That's the physical, the emotional abuse. Then there's other third form of abuse, which is also becoming really notorious among so many people, the sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is also very rampant among so many relationships. Somebody abusing you sexually without you being able to say anything against this person who is abusing you sexually. But the other forms of abuses, some of them, they are in my Instagram page, which include financial abuse. Somebody can abuse you because of your money, how much money you're making. Social abuse, somebody can abuse you on how many people you should interact with, how many Facebook accounts you should have, what kind of password, giving your password to this person as social abuse. Other people can abuse you religiously. Basing on your religion, you believe in certain religion, certain God, the way you handle and believe your religion. Somebody can abuse that, your religious stance, Other people can abuse you in terms of the self-abuse, just abusing you as a human being, which still is under all these three main ones which I just talked about: the physical abuse, emotional abuse, and sexual abuse. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're sharing this video. Let it reach to your younger brother, your younger cousin who is a male cousin, a father, a young dad. Simply let the video reach any man on your Facebook timelines right now. Do me that favor as I begin telling you some of the reasons why these kind of people become very abusive. Now, when you look at the list which I've put there for you, the first one, an abusive person becomes abusive because of this man wants to dominate and control you. I've talked about this over and over in my videos. It's not easy for somebody to control another person and to dominate the other person. But the easiest way is to become abusive and very violent. You see, if I abuse you the way you're dressing, if I abuse you the way you are, the way you look like, if I kick you, if I beat you up because you didn't cook a delicious meal, or if you are flirting with another person or other men, what I'm trying to do is to control you, to dominate over you. Even though you're not cheating on me, you're not unfaithful, you're not doing anything wrong to me, you're just being a human being, you're just being yourself. Any person who is abusive, the first main reason of a man being very abusive and violent is they want to control you. They want to dominate. Never forget this one. Any man who you will meet in your life who has been abusive or who is still abusing you sexually, physically, and emotionally, this gentleman here, sorry to use the word gentleman, he wants to control your life. He wants to dominate. There's no way you're going to be on top of this guy. No matter how much you try, no matter how good you become, no matter how much you obey to his rules, which of course he wants you to obey to them. Dominating and controlling. That's the first reason why this man is very abusive and violent. The second reason, as we go on along together with you, is low self-esteem. Low self-esteem costs a man a lot. If you meet a man, you begin dating a person who is still struggling with having confidence about his looks, about his future, about his vision of life, about who he is. A man who has discovered that this is my purpose. This is why God created me. This is what I'm supposed to do. If he has not reached that point where he really, really, really loves himself and is very confident about himself, and you're dating or you're married to this kind of a person, I know from my experience and the people around in my family, most of them struggle with self-esteem issues. And it could be something that they can never change, if it's physical height, or some of the things that they can really work on. If they want to be confident, if they want to be to feel good about themselves, to believe that they are handsome, that they are a man, they don't need to be reminded that they are men. This person becomes very abusive because once the esteem, his confidence is very low, then he has to find a way to feel better, to feel more confident, to feel accepted, to feel like a boss, to feel like a man. And one way of this person to feel like a man is to abuse you, is to beat you up, is to abuse you sexually, is to torment you emotionally until you reach a stage where you begin to see him and call him and tell him that you are the man. You are my husband. You are the king. Whether you like it, whether you feel like telling him or not. That's the second reason why this man is very abusive. Now look at the third reason why a man is up. And I hope you're sharing the video. I hope you're sharing the video. All of you are watching here. Thank you so much. I see your comments. I will come through the comment section later on. But it's a solo talk. So please understand as I'm talking and taking you through this topic. The third reason why a man becomes very abusive is he has anger management issues. Anger management issue. An abusive person, when you look at them, even with where you're working, you start with your boss or your coworkers or your neighbor or a family member that you stay together with. You're not dating. This topic is not just about the people who are dating. People who have anger issues, they overreact. They turn away. They turn something very small to become very huge. Something very, very small, it turns out to become abnormal. They take things out of the proportion. Abusive people struggle to control their anger. And if you are watching this video, your son is growing up. I know your son is the next man online. In my videos, I've always said, my video is not to talk to that man, your husband, or the boyfriend that is abusive. You're a man, you're a woman, you're a mother who is watching this video today. If God has blessed you with a son, this video is speaking to you as a mother who is watching this video. Don't feel good that Benjamin is talking and reminding you of an abusive husband or an ex-husband or ex-boyfriend, especially if you have a son that you're trying to raise as a mother. Anger issues start as early as the age of 3. Look at my fingers. Your son, you may never know that he has anger issues even as young as he is at 3 years old. And I want you to tell me the truth there on the comment section. You might think, well, my son is just being stubborn. He's just being a boy. He's just being a man. You know how our society tells us he's just being a man. That's how men are supposed to behave. But the same boy growing up, if his anger issues and anger management skills are not managed as early as possible, you as the mother, you as the father, there is a very likelihood that once he grows, once he becomes the man that I'm talking about, he will also become abusive. People who control their anger, they know when not to beat another person. They know when not to say certain words. They know when to say that I'm hurting her. You know when somebody is so annoyed, and when they step back and they stop texting and they stop calling or stop shouting just to cool down, breathe in, breathe out, walk away, take a walk, run away from this situation. These are people who are able to avoid being abusive. But any man who is very abusive, any man who is violent, there's a likelihood they have very poor anger management skills. I want you to look at the fourth point, the fourth reason why these men become very abusive. Thank you so much for your comments. This man feels inferior. An abusive man feels inferior towards their partner. These days, most people agree, and even the fellow men who are going to watch this video, if you're watching this video, it is true. A majority of our women, the ladies, are more empowered. Most of them are more educated. Most of them, they're earning more money than us. Most of them are more informed. I mean, surely we have the internet. People can actually Google and find out that this is being abused. Unlike our mothers and our grandmothers, they didn't know that when a man is doing this, when a man is beating you and slapping you and then expect you to cook for him and have sex with him, that was an abuse. This day, most women know, your sisters know that. Your cousins, the younger cousins, actually know that. They already know that. But when a man feels inferior, and I will give you a very simple story which I've shared in my podcast. All of you always watch my podcasts and listen to them. Thank you so much. When a man feels inferior, feels his woman is becoming better, his woman is earning more money, his woman is becoming more successful in the family. And I don't really understand why a man who is deeply married, legally married, with his own wife, that they share children with. That's what really makes me to do this topic today. That this man reaches a stage where he begins feeling that the more the woman is earning more, the more the woman is becoming successful, even though they are together, he is losing his authority. Remember the first reason which I said, abusive people, abusive men, they steal and want to always control and dominate the other partner. The moment this thing is changed in their lives, it is very difficult for him to accept the reality that the woman is better, the woman is stronger, the woman is getting more educated, the woman is making steps, is calling the shots, is making moves. And what will he do? Obviously, if the person is becoming more successful, if the woman is becoming more successful in his life, the only option this guy has is to become violent and very abusive. And once he does that, then he will frustrate this woman not to continue what she's doing. There are two ladies who have approached me in my past videos and told me, hey, Benjamin, I started singing. I have a passion to sing. I want to be a musician. But my boyfriend has refused me to do that. I've talked about this in my videos. The man told the lady, you cannot be a musician. You can't sing. You can't dance. How many men are going to approach you? You can't do that. And this is the same thing that happens even in our own families. A father stopping his own child to pursue their dreams and their passions and their goals for the sake of them. It's about a father. In this case, it's about a man who wants the woman to do certain things according to him. The other woman who approached me told me, hey, Benjamin, I started up a business. These days, business and digital online. Digital business. I'm doing these videos because I can see the future ahead. People are going to make money online. You can make money online from your house, from my tiny corner here. I can earn a decent living. That's where we are heading to. And because a lady has started a business, he wants to start up a business to earn a living. And this gentleman sees an opportunity that this lady is meeting so many men, meeting in quotes. She's talking, chatting, and doing so many things with other men that this guy does not want. An abusive person does not allow a woman to get superior, to get better, to prosper, to do better in life. So at the end of the day, it's not a relationship, it's a competition. Two people staying in the same house or in the same union, that they had a beautiful wedding, exchanged the vows to be together, to share for the rest of their lives as a man, as a woman, as a father, and as a husband and a wife. They have forgotten about all these things. It's a competition. This man forgets that this same woman prospering, getting better, and making more in terms of financial state in their family is something good. In fact, this lady can make you to stop working so hard. As men, we work so hard. I always say that when you wake up every day, if you work during the day or at night, when you take a shower, I'm speaking to you as a man to man, when you take a shower, when you dress, whether you're in long distance or you're together with your wife, you stand in front of the mirror. When you put on that suit, that necktie, you know it for a fact you are doing this for some people, and those people could be your child or your children together with your woman. You are doing it for them. And the world outside here is so cruel. The company you work for, the bosses you work for, the people the co-workers that you work for, They don't give a damn about how you feel. They don't care. Because even them, they are dealing with so many issues. People don't care these days. They don't care how you feel. They don't care if you are happy or you're good from where you're coming from. It doesn't matter to them. Everyone is hustling. Everyone is trying to make money. Everyone is trying to earn a living. So there's so much frustration outside here if you are not allowing your woman to prosper, to get better, to earn extra money. That means you have to do extra work. You have to do more. You have to get another job. Get 2, 3, 4 jobs to get more money to keep this woman under you. Think beyond the box. The few men that I know on one-on-one basis who have allowed their women to prosper, they have just given them this world. Come on, baby. Just do it. Go for it. Pursue your dreams. I know I met you along the way. You wanted to do this. Go ahead and do this. This is what you wanted to do. So long as you stick to the rules, remain faithful, be committed to me, be committed to this relationship, but I'm allowing you to do whatever you want to do. Those men have very minimal chance of becoming abusive. Very little space is left in their hearts and in their minds to become violent. There's a point which I skipped there about being jealous. Abusive people are extremely jealous. Jealous, jealous, jealous. I have been a very jealous man in my life. I have been. When people watch me and say, "Oh, Ben, you don't look like you're a jealous type." I mean, we are all jealous. But the key word is extremely jealous. You are very, very jealous. A jealous person does not want another person to be better. A jealous person is very selfish. A jealous person feels bad because the other person has things that he cannot have. And a jealous person in a relationship thinks that way. You forget that this is your woman, my friend. This is your wife. This is your girlfriend. Why on earth are you jealous of her progressing? Why are you so jealous? At least you should be jealous of strange people that we see on social media lying and pretending that they are successful, they are happy, they have a beautiful home, they have a beautiful life. You should be jealous of strangers. But the same human being that you're trying to build an empire together with, and then you're jealous of her progressing, becoming better, going back to school, earning this degree extra mile to become a better woman and reduce the workload and make more money that can help you together with your children, and then you feel jealous of her. If you are jealous of the people who are talking to her, you're jealous of the people that are on her social media account, you are jealous of even the mere male contacts. When I tell you I was a very jealous man, and I've said it in my podcast, there's a time when I had a woman, I got her phone, I went to the phone book, the contact lists of every man that she had saved there. I changed the phone numbers. More than 250 male contacts on her phone. Any man that I was reading Patrick, I see the number ends with 78, I change it. I put it 97. And then this lady was being called by the men who she had saved on her phone number. And every time she was asking them, "Who are you?" And then the lady was confused and like, I have your number. I don't have the number which is calling me is a strange number. It's a number that I don't know. But I did that. Why? Because I was extremely a jealous man. And jealous people, when I was doing that, I was trying to dominate her. I wanted to control her. I wanted to own this woman, to make her to be mine. This is my woman. There is no man who should talk to her, even including, in fact, it reached a point where I was asking her, "Who is this to you?" And she was telling me, "This is my cousin." And some of them I confirmed. I knew that these were her own cousins. So those ones, I never interfered with their numbers. That is emotional abuse. It is social abuse. Communication abuse. If you are at a stage of controlling your woman, what or who should talk to her? you're a very abusive man. You are extremely abusive. I'm winding up. I'm moving on to the second point, which I put there, of abuse. And I hope you've shared the video. I don't know if you're sharing this video. Are you sharing the video? Are you sharing the video? The fifth reason why a man becomes very abusive is because he's still stuck on traditional beliefs. And by traditional beliefs, I mean where we were brought up. I know, even in my own community, being an African man, and in my community where I come from, it was always said that a man is better. A man's decisions are better. A man's opinions are better. Everything about a man is better. And with a woman, nothing is better. So the man is first and then the woman second. And you will find such kind of men when you're dating them who are still stuck in that mentality that, when it comes to making decisions, I think the man should make those decisions. He is smart. A man is smarter than. And I was watching a very funny comedy where a comedian was asking young kids, between daddy and mommy, who is smarter? And most kids were saying, daddy is smarter, daddy is smarter. But you see, it was a very funny comedy. But when we are growing up, when we see, even in our own family setting, even the way our parents treat boys and girls, traditionally, a boy is seen to be smarter. A boy is seen to be better off in making decisions. But that's not the truth. We have women who make really smart decisions. A woman can save you from hell. She can tell you what you're doing is taking you, like I quit smoking because of a woman. She could see when I posted my picture a few days ago and you guys were commenting there, more than 2,000 people watching and seeing that picture. I was deep into smoking and drinking, and I had forgotten about myself. I had forgotten about my looks, about who I am as Benjamin and the potential that I had. Those were 12 good years ago. And people were commenting there and saying, Benjamin, you looked older than you look now. When you look at me, when you see me right now doing this video, and you go back and see that picture on my Facebook account, you will see the difference. Some of those things, even though I decided to quit these drugs, even if I decided to stop smoking, there was a woman who saw it in me and told me, Benjamin, you have a very bright future ahead of you. You have no idea what you have along the way. And if I continue the same path, and if you're watching me as a man, there are women who will help you, save you from whatever you're doing. If you're a cheater, chronic cheater, you keep on cheating, this woman is telling you, this thing is going to mess you up. But before you infect me with any STIs, I want to peacefully divorce, leave you to play around with this woman. And when that woman walks away, leaves you alone with the other women, that is when you begin to understand you are abusive and you have lost a very important person in your life. Don't remain in these traditional beliefs. Don't stay there. Begin day by day. It's very hard, but day by day, begin to understand, especially if you have a daughter. This is the best way to get you as a man. If God has blessed you with your daughter, the love that you have for this daughter, the hope, the dreams, when you hold her, when you're walking together with her, if it's a long distance, when you do a video call, the love and the passion you have for this young, beautiful daughter, and the dreams that you have for this lady, the belief that you have she can be strong, she can be a leader, she can be smart, she can conquer the world. Extend these feelings towards your woman. Your woman in front of you needs that even more than your daughter. Once you empower your woman by removing yourself from these traditional beliefs, your daughter grows knowing that she can do it. She doesn't need a man to be in front of her. She can make her own decisions. That is exactly why I stopped staying in this traditional beliefs that a woman, a lady, cannot make better decisions. I moved away from that, and I'm a very happy man since I started walking away from that belief. I want to move on to the next point of personality and psychological disorders. People who are abusive are actually sick. They could be sick, mentally sick. I want to give you a very, very awkward explanation. I'm winding up. Imagine a man kicks and beats up a woman, his own woman. 10 minutes later on, he has an erection to have sex with this same woman. If I ask you in a very simple tone, do you think this man is normal? If he beat the woman really, and I mean serious beating, for more than 30 minutes, and then 10 minutes later on, he has an erection and wants sex. Do you think this man is normal? Just let me know in the comment. Do you, like, even before we try to say anything about this guy, is he normal? Is he okay? Is he mentally stable? Is he really okay? Is he really, really fine? Even you as a man who is watching this, do you think this guy is okay? Or something is wrong with him? What do you think? People who are very abusive, they are mentally sick. And some of them don't know, of course. Unfortunately, they don't know that they are depressed. In my podcast, I said when a man loses this power and authority that I talked about on the first point, when a man loses the power to control his woman, he becomes depressed. When a man loses his job, he becomes useless. When a man loses his business, Corona has messed up his business. When a famous man doesn't get the likes, the followers, the comments, you know what those celebrities go through when they post their pictures? Some of them watch my videos. Thanks for that. They are human beings just like you. When they do not get this attention, when they do not get the people who are praising them, calling them heroes, you are a superstar, you're a musician, you have more than 500 million followers. When they don't get this attention and somebody keeps on telling them, when these numbers go down, then they become depressed. They become sad. They feel inferior. They become so annoyed with what other people are thinking about them. And the person that gets all this punishment is the women or the woman in his life. And those people are mentally sick, psychologically sick. They need help. The last 3 points, which I'm winding up, one of the other reasons is abusive man is always, he learned this behavior when he was growing up. I mean, if you can imagine if you're married and your son sees you being beaten almost on a daily basis, obviously your son will see that this is perfectly okay. I mean, a woman should be beaten. When a woman is misbehaving in the house, she needs some beating so that she can listen to the man. So growing up, this guy is just growing up and see that this is okay. His uncles are doing it. The wives or these women who are being abused, they are still there. They never walked away. They never filed for divorces. So this is in the family. This is okay. This is perfectly normal in our family, in our community. When we abuse women or when we do all these things, it is perfectly okay. This is normal. My father, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather, I heard, used to do this. And the danger here is even the daughters who have been brought up in this environment, they are the ones that I'm talking to right now. They become so victimized by men that they will meet in their lives, and because their mothers stayed there, their aunties never walked away, they will take it as normal. When you hear that a lady stayed there, it's not even just about the children. I know children are very important when these women stay there, when they remain there. But by and large, also another reason is because their family, they witnessed other women staying there, never walked away, never complained. They complain. You pack your things, go for 1 week, go for 1 month, and come back again. Go for 1 year, come back again. But the same cycle is going on. So for them, abusing and being abused is still okay. Even though it's painful and very heartbreaking, they will stay there. The last 2 points, which obviously abusive people have never had, especially with physical abuse. I know emotional can be very, very tormenting, because with emotional abuse, you don't see it. Emotional is people will die. Your mother will die with this abuse that she will never tell any other person. Emotional is the worst. Somebody will smile. How are you today, Mary? I'm very fine. How is your family? I'm very okay. My family is good. How are children? Oh, my son actually moved to abroad and he is doing really fine. He is okay. And how about your daughter? Oh, my daughter just got married the other day. But this woman, what she has in her heart, if she had the power to create a movie, if she had the power to write a book of what she has gone through over the years, you will break watching that movie or reading that book. But the men who have abused them, a majority of them abuse alcohol and other drugs. When you are abusing drugs, you don't make good decisions. Somebody who is drunk will call you everything and anything. Have you ever been abused with a drunk man, a drunk husband, a drunk boyfriend? The words that he tells you, if you record him what he's saying, and then you show him the next day when he's sober, which of course an abusive person will never care and will not even think about it. People who abuse alcohol, people who abuse other drugs, they are very abusive. If you are dating a man who is deeply into alcoholism and other drugs that you don't know, chances are very high the man, if he has not become abusive, eventually he'll be abusive. Eventually he is going towards the direction. It's very hard to balance drugs with your anger, drugs and normal life, drugs and with your words, what you say and you tell another person. It's very hard. That's why you can't go to work when you're drunk. No company will allow you to go to work when you're drunk. It's very common sense. I am a teacher. And one of the things they told me in this company, if you like drinking, yes, you are free to teach the way you want to teach these children and these adults in your class. You're the boss. You are educated. You're smart. Don't be stupid, but don't drink. There are other teachers who have tried to drink alcohol and go to class, and they ended up saying stupid things in front of the students. A drunk person will say anything and nothing and very demeaning words. Alcohol and drugs go hand in hand with abusive people. The last point which I want to mention in this video as I conclude is abusive people. An abusive man has a questionable lifestyle. I'm sure you've heard of stories of women who come and say, hey, come on, I didn't know what this guy was doing. I was just dating him. And that's why you see, like even in my Meet and Mingle show, I insist, if you're a lady, you meet a man online, whether he looks handsome more than any other man you have met in your life, you need to talk with the guy. You need to talk with him face to face. You need to find out so many details about the guy. And some of the things that you need to find out about the man is, what does he do exactly? What do you do? What is your job? What do you do? If you don't know what this guy is doing, this guy could be putting you in danger. You might be the next person to be locked up in a maximum prison, which I normally joke around and say, if you are arrested, if you're put in prison, if you go to prison, you wouldn't watch these videos again. Especially if it's something serious, arrested, because you are together with somebody that you didn't know his lifestyle, you didn't know what he was doing, and you go to the prison, my friend, no Facebook, no internet, no live videos, no solo talks with Benjamin ever again. Think about it. Any person you meet, any person you fall in love with deeply and more deeply, especially after 6 months, try as much as you can to know exactly what this person does. The moment you know it, then you can make better decisions. And you know there are people who are falling in love deeply with these romantic, smart, mischievous men who they have nothing. They don't know exactly what they are doing, but because they are providing, they are paying the bills, they are taking them on vacations. I mean, the guy is handsome, the guy is good, the guy is he sounds a real focused guy. He's a very hard-working man. So what are you telling me? But what does he do? What do you know that this guy does? And those women who have become victims, the danger is if this person with questionable lifestyle puts him in trouble, you as the lady, you also become a victim. And this will affect you. And that means you will be abused even when he is away. You'll be abused by other people. Even strangers will question you. Your own family members will ask you, why were you dating him? Why were you married to him? If this is the guy, what he was doing, why were you still together with him? So this abuse will go on and on and on to you. Even though the guy, even if he dies, God forbid, still this abuse will go away. So I want to conclude by saying this. What is the way forward with an abusive person? Abusive people, let me repeat this. Abusive people have excuses. Abusive people live with excuses. I kicked you because I was drunk. I kicked you because I was jealous. I kicked you because I wasn't myself. Abusive people have excuses. That's what you need to remember. An abusive husband will always have an excuse. Always. They will always have an excuse on what they are doing to you. I deleted all those numbers because I thought you were going to start sleeping with those men. Abusive people have excuses. But there's no justifiable reason for somebody to become abusive to another human being. There's no reason why you should kick another person. There's no reason why you should beat up another person. There's no reason why you should torment another human being. There's no reason to do that. Absolutely no. There's no, like, even if you go to law courts, report this person, there is no specifications that will say he did this is okay because of ABCD. There's no justifiable reason. So what should you do? You have two options. Look at my fingers. An abusive person, you can help him. Remember that. You can help him. Or you leave him. Help him or leave him. Let me talk about this finger here of helping. How are you going to help somebody who is abusing you? How? How are you going to help somebody who is beating you? Honestly speaking, how are you going to help somebody who is tormenting you emotionally, sexually? How are you going to help the guy? How? Tell me with simple English, Benjamin, this is what I'm going to do to help him to change and to become better. Some women have tried. They have done their best. They have tried even to pay for counseling, rehabilitation, and every other thing to help the guy, which is a very, very important thing. It's a beautiful thing when you love somebody unconditionally and you want to do the best. You have a child with this guy. You really, really, really want the best for this guy. You can see that he can become a better human being. Given chance, he can change. He can be the best guy that he always wanted to be. But if you cannot help, you have no power to help, then the next thing is to leave the person alone. Abusive people need help, or they need to be left alone. Let the person stay alone so that he has no one else to abuse. He has nobody else to abuse. And you who has been abused, you are no longer with him. So everyone is happy. Everyone is living their own life. That is the only parting shot that I want to remind in this video. Abusive people need help. And the reason why I'm saying they need help, because we are human beings. At the end of the day, we are human beings. Even when a woman walks away, when a woman signs divorce papers, it is not fun. It's not so easy. It's a painful process. A divorce process is unloving a person. You begin unloving him. That this is a person you have been having sex with, you have had children with, but you have to go backwards. Have you ever played a video and then you rewind and the way it's going backwards? So you are unloving the person, which is a very painful process to unlove a person that you are supposed to be together with. And because you're a human being, you can help the person, but that's not your job. That is not your responsibility to help an adult. The person who needs help here is you watching this video, the person being abused. You are the one who needs that help more. But if you have in your heart to help the guy, you can do it from a distance. Some people are saying on the comments, you can pray. Prayers work. But how long are you going to pray if the person is beating you for more than 5 years? Even if religion was brought to us and said, hey, prayers work. Prayers do work if people want to change. If people put in the work, God helps people who help themselves. You don't sit and pray that today he is not going to beat me up. You don't sit and pray and say, okay, today he is not going to cheat on me. No. There are women who have prayed for more than 5 years and nothing happened. So do you want to pray one more year? Do you want to pray more than 5 years and you are being beaten? Seriously? Are you for real? You pray today, he beats you tomorrow, then you pray the next, then he beats you again. And he is not changing, he's alcoholic, he has anger issues. Seriously. Religion is very important in this. But you can allow them, okay, thank you, I loved you so much. You are handsome. You could have been an amazing father. You could have been everything that I wanted. I wish we could have continued having this marriage together. And God knows better than all of us. Even though we had a wedding, even if it was come and stay, even if I loved you the way I loved you so much, I have prayed, I've involved the church, the mosque, the sheikhs, the priests, but there is no change from you. I think it is beyond my prayers. It is beyond me. And the only witness that I have is God, that I've been praying to for many years for you to change, and you never changed. Who said that once you're together with somebody who does not want to stop abusing you, you should continue praying for them to get better? Who said that? And the people who are really willing to change, even with the prayers, they are your fellow believers. They are your fellow believer. When a man finally believes in the Bible, believes in the Quran, believes in the God and the Allah that you're praying to, if he has not believed in these things, he hasn't believed in those 2 holy books, he doesn't believe in that. He has no time to believe in what you're telling him about God and how a Christian should treat another Christian. A husband should, even if you pray and pray and pray, the person is not a believer. He doesn't believe in what you're doing. And I want to encourage you, Don't be a victim of saying, I will stay there and pray until it changes. No. You pray and monitor the changes. And lastly, one other reason that I didn't mention in this video is people are abusive because you are tolerating it. And that marks the end of my video. Your husband, your boyfriend is abusive because you're tolerating it. So it goes back to you, the person who is being abused. What are you planning to do after listening to this video? What is your next move? If you have tolerated this guy for 1 year, for 2 years, for 5 years, for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, what more do you want to do with this man? How long or how much energy do you have to tolerate this person? That is the question that I want to leave you with. Thank you so much for watching this solo talk with me, Benjamin. I hope you learned something today. Share it again to a friend or a family member. Leave it on your timeline. You never know, a friend will come across with this video. And I wish you all the best. As a fellow man, a man-to-man talk, yes, you can abuse people, but sometimes grow up, change. Just be a human being. Just be a human being for once and say, hey, enough is enough. I think I've been stupid. I've been making so many mistakes. Now I'm changing. Let me just be a good person. Let me just be a good guy and make things easier for me and for these kids and this woman, and God will bless me along the way the remaining years that I have in my life. Do that not for me, but for yourself and your family. Until the next solo talk, this has been Benjamin. Remember to like and follow this page to watch the past and the future videos. Goodbye and God bless. Thank you very much.